Failing to plan is planning to fail. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the complete learning path for Git and GitHub, so to make your learning process an easy one. If you're new to Git, then this video will give you a complete picture as to what you should be learning to gain this new IT skill. Not to mention, Git is almost a must-have skill in your resume or even to manage your own personal projects for free. So without any further delay, let's get started. At a very high level, the learning path is divided into two parts. One is Git, the other is GitHub. Once you learn Git, you can easily connect the dots with GitHub. If you don't know the difference between Git and GitHub, you need to check my other video on YouTube which talks about the same. Link is in the description and you can do that after you finish watching this video. First off, you need to start by understanding some of the basics of Git and GitHub. So there you want to learn things like version control system, basic bash commands, understanding basic Git commands and their use cases, staging and unstaging files, etc. This must get you started with Git. Next, you need to understand some of the internals of Git, like what is hashing, what is object database, understanding various Git objects like blobs, trees, commit, and also commands to manipulate with these objects. Understanding of all these internals of Git is often underestimated, but without these, you do not understand some of the advanced concepts of Git. You do not have to go too deep here, just some slight deep dive would be enough. Next, you need to learn about the all-famous branches. Branches are such an important topic in Git that even the official logo of Git has a symbol representing it. Branches would allow you to experiment with your changes without having to have impact on the rest of the code. Of course, there's a lot more than that about branches, but this video is not about that. There you want to explore what are branches, its use cases, what is a head, how they work, and being able to run related commands to do tasks like creation of branches, contributing to the branch, or switching between the branches, being able to retrieve the lost work, or undoing the changes, etc. I kept a video link in the description below where you can watch the Git tutorial on YouTube to help you get started with Git, and you will learn everything what we've discussed so far. Again, you can do that once after you finish watching this video. Next, you need to learn about merging. Merging is a process of incorporating your changes in the main branch without impacting the existing functionality. We basically have two types of merges, the fast-forward merge and three-way merge. But it's not so straightforward. You need to know how to handle merge conflicts in different scenarios, which is a bit tricky and can do damage if you're not careful. Next comes rebasing. Rebasing, as the name suggests, it is a process of basing the sequence of commits to another base commit. Obviously, this definition may not be making sense to you. I need more time to explain that in detail. But here you want to learn various scenarios involved in rebasing, understanding when to use rebasing versus merging, interact to rebase, and various options available there, etc. Next, you need to learn about stashing, which is the process of being able to save your ongoing work and retrieve it back on when you need it again. There are a lot of use cases where stashing is very useful. Next comes the world of GitHub, which is essentially a centralized code repository, and you can do pretty much everything what you can do on Git. In addition to that, you want to understand private and public repositories, cloning the projects, tracking branches, understanding origin head, remotes, managing collaborators, and a host of other related topics. Next, you want to understand about Git fetch and Git pull and their use cases. While Git fetch downloads the objects for you, Git pull also updates the working directory. However, they both have their own use cases. You need to understand when to use what. Depending on what you want to do, you would either want to merge or rebase the pulled objects. You also need to know how to handle conflicts that might arise while performing Git pull. Next, you need to learn about how you can contribute to remote repositories. Here you want to understand Git push, understanding protected branches, raising the pull requests and how you can handle them on GitHub, various strategies to avoid conflicts, reviewing the changes done by some other team members, how you can divide the work into smaller chunks and merge them safely, etc. Next, you need to learn about how you can contribute to open source repositories by forking the public projects. Forking is the process of making a clone of another existing repository where you can introduce your own changes without affecting the original one. There you want to understand what is forking, how it works, and how to keep the forked repository in sync with the original one without creating a conflict, and some of the administrative aspects as well on the forked repository. Next, you need to understand some branching strategies to support seamless software development. There you want to understand semantic versioning of a software, release cycles, tags, branching workflows, etc. And then next you need to understand some of the security aspects of Git and GitHub, like digital signatures, signed commits, public and private keys, GPG keys, administering signed commits, and other security aspects of Git and GitHub. Of course, there are other topics related to GitHub administration like issue tracking, vulnerability scans, insights, GitHub actions, webhooks, GitHub pages, and a host of other topics. But what we've discussed so far must suffice for any given job. That's all for the learning path at a very high level, and if you want to learn all of them, everything what Git and GitHub has to offer as a 12-hour long course without ads or distractions. If you want to learn it in entirety and take your Git skills to next level, details are in the description. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you for watching.